They found his teeth in the freezer on a quiet Tuesday morning. The maintenance man was the first to scream, his voice cracking through the concrete hallways of Briarwood apartments. Inside the freezer drawer, wrapped carefully in wax paper, sat 12 human teeth, yellowed, blood-flecked, arranged like a grotesque smile. At first the police thought it was a prank, a medical oddity stolen from a dentist or anatomy lab. Then someone noticed the name written on the wax paper in faded marker: Evan Marshall. Evan Marshall lived in apartment 3C. Evan Marshall was supposed to be dead. 3 weeks earlier, the building had gathered in the courtyard as paramedics wheeled out what they believed was his body. He had collapsed in his kitchen, pale and unresponsive, his mouth filled with blood. The official cause was a stroke followed by complications. No autopsy was ordered because Evan had no family to contest it. The body was taken away. The apartment sealed, and life moved on, except Evan Marshall had never been buried. The coroner's office confirmed it with a single trembling phone call. The body listed under Evan's name was missing its teeth, all of them. By the time the police forced open the door to apartment 3C, the smell had already begun to leak into the hallway. Not rot, not decay, but something sour and metallic. Like old blood and freezer burn, the lights flickered as they entered, revealing scratch marks along the walls at knee height. Drag marks led from the kitchen to the bathroom and in the bathtub. Wrapped in plastic sheeting and duct tape, lay Evan Marshall. He was alive. His chest rose and fell in shallow spasms. His eyes were open but unfocused, darting wildly as if tracking something only he could see. His mouth was a ruin of torn flesh and dried blood, the gums exposed and inflamed. A low sound escaped his throat, not quite a moan, not quite a scream, when the paramedics tried to lift him. He convulsed violently and whispered a single sentence through ruined lips. He said, "I would live longer without them." Asterisk at the hospital. Doctors worked in silence. None of them had ever seen a patient like Evan Marshall. He should not have been alive. Blood loss alone should have killed him days ago. Infection should have taken him hours later, yet somehow his body refused to stop. Scans revealed something worse than expected. Every tooth had been removed surgically, not ripped out in a frenzy. The jawbone showed clean incisions, precision cuts. Whoever did this had taken their time. Whoever did this knew exactly how much pain a human could survive. Evan couldn't speak properly without teeth. Words collapsed into wet sounds and breathy gasps, but he tried. He kept pointing at his mouth, then at his eyes, then at the ceiling. Doctors assumed trauma, hallucinations, shock, until night fell. That was when Evan started screaming. Only when the room was empty, only when no one was watching. Security cameras captured it all. His body remained perfectly still while his mouth stretched impossibly wide. Blood seeped from his gums as if the wounds were reopening. The screams didn't register as sound on the footage, just violent movement and shadow, as if the noise existed somewhere else. Nurses reported seeing a man standing in the corner of Evan's room, tall, thin, his face blurred like it couldn't decide on a shape. Every time someone entered, the figure vanished. Every time the room was empty, Evan's vitals spiked. Evan finally managed to write 3 words on a clipboard. He keeps them cold. Asterisk. Police searched the building freezer again, behind the drawer. Where the teeth were found, they discovered a hidden panel. Inside were dozens of small wax paper bundles, names written on every one, dates, apartment numbers. Teeth, fingernails, pieces of bone, all carefully preserved. all taken from people officially declared dead. The building superintendent disappeared that same night. His apartment was empty except for bloodstains and a single note taped to the fridge. Cold slows the screaming. Evan's condition worsened rapidly after the discovery. His body began to rot while still alive. Skin grayed, veins blackened. Breath rattled like something crawling inside his chest. Doctors said he was decomposing without dying, a biological impossibility. On the third night, Evan grabbed a nurse's sus wrist with shocking strength. He pulled her close, breath hot and foul, and forced the words out. "He takes pieces so death won't recognize us." That was the night the power went out. Backup generators failed, the hospital plunged into darkness, and the screaming became audible. Every patient on the floor heard it, a layered sound. Dozens of voices overlapping, crying from freezers, walls, vents. When the lights returned, Evan Marshall was gone. Only the bed restraints remained, snapped clean in half. Asterisk, they found Evan 2 days later, back in the building freezer, curled inside like a child, still breathing. His body had been opened, organs missing, replaced with neatly wrapped packages. The superintendent's teeth sat in Evan's chest cavity. Still bloody, still warm, Evan's eyes locked onto the officers as they approached. Tears streamed down his face. He smiled, not with teeth, but with something else. The freezer door slammed shut on its own. The temperature dropped instantly, and the screaming began again. The case was sealed, the building condemned. But sometimes, late at night, residents nearby swear they hear freezers humming too loudly, and if you listen carefully, beneath the motor's buzz, you can hear someone still alive, still screaming, still waiting to be taken apart.